So I'm just going to share something I just discovered recently about our Web IDE. Here I have it open up on the GitLab project, which is not a trivial project. It has lots of files, so there's a lot of data that's being loaded, but nonetheless, it's taking up each tab is going to take up about a gig of memory loaded for this very huge project. But you look at it, there's not a lot visually going on. So I wonder where we can optimize to not load as much data. Now I do know, let's compare this to a very trivial project. I have some very just test projects that we can load up a Web IDE for. This should be one, yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. That loaded so quickly. And look at this. It's only 30 megabytes. So let's just for fun. So the main difference here is the number of files for sure that are being loaded. The number of files at this top level and deeper on. I wonder what happens if we start expanding a bunch of trees. But let's see what's the actual difference between the number of files in this one. This one looks like it has 3 files, including 3 directories. I think I have code open over here. Oh man. Oh, I'm not sharing my whole screen. Okay, let me shrink this. All right. Let's see how many files we have in our GitLab project. I wonder if I'm able to answer that question from, let's see if I can answer. Let's see. How many files in the GitLab project? I wonder if anyone's asked this question before. I don't see it. Oh, okay. Oh, get ls files. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. Okay, so let me open up terminal. All right, it's not coming with me, so I'll bring my terminal over here. All right, here we go. Let me go to my GitLab project. I will get ls files. All right, that is 28,000 files. That is a lot of files. Is this for reals? I guess so. Okay. All right. 28,000 files. So the difference between these two projects is about, this one's taking up 900 megabytes, this one's taking 30, so it's like 870 megabyte difference. And the difference of files is, let's just for fun say it's 28,000. So something tells me there's not a whole lot of memory we're storing per file. That's the only things that would be different for here. So I wonder if maybe it has more to do about the number of things that are loaded here at this top level folder. So I wonder what happens to this tab when I start expanding things. Let's just start expand. Maybe I should expand going up. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna get lots of stuff going on. Yeah, my original thought was that our memory was so huge because of the number of files that we're creating here, but maybe it's the number of just components we have live in this tree. Yeah. Okay. So that kind of bumped it up quite a bit. Which tells me that if I would then go, oh man, you felt that slowness. Let me open up all of our JavaScript folders. And maybe this is something we just can't we can't solve because the project is just that huge. But I still feel like there's not a lot of visual information here to justify almost a gig of data that's behind all of this. Or just a gig of memory that includes like callback functions and everything. There's got to be a lot of room for optimizing here. I'm almost at the end of this. Oh man. Here we go. All right. Okay. And that seemed to have added maybe another gig or another 100 megabytes or so. Okay, so that's interesting. So I wonder if we have a lot of top level folders, I wonder how much of a difference that makes of just how many are on here. So I'd say that maybe there's 50 or so top level folders or files here, maybe 100. That's something we can do to our small little project here. I wonder if I have this checked out. Certainly a weird project name. Let me go back to my projects. Let me see if I can clone this project. And I gave this project a weird name to test if it handled the weird names, and we will soon see. So let's clone this weirdly named project, and it works. That's great. Okay. I'm gonna do a loop of 100 files. So how do I do bash loop 100 times? How does Unix for loop 1 to 100 numbers? That looks right. Oh, I'm gonna go to Stack Overflow though. For 1 in sequence, okay. For I said 1. And sec to 100, we're gonna touch. Okay, we'll do this. We'll make dir. Can I do this on a separate line? I'd like to, but maybe I'm gonna try to do this on the same line. Let's make dir dir I, and we'll touch dir. I'll go ahead and add an underscore between those. Touch dir I slash it's a file, and we'll make it a nice markdown. And then I'll touch it's a top, or we'll just call it top. I don't know if I need to string this. Oh well. Okay. And then done. Here we go. Oh no. I don't know. Did I do this wrong? Maybe I did. Okay. I can see you didn't like what I did there. Oh, because I did an I instead of, I did a 1 instead of an I. Silly things. Are you serious? All right. Is this really a file or a... Okay, that is, they're treating those as directories. All right, let me just delete all those. Maybe I could do make dir p, but it should be fine. Okay, nice. Here we go. There's our script. Awesome. Git status. All right, we're adding all the stuff. Okay. All right. Add all the stuff. All right. So this is going to have significantly less files. Nope. Word count. All right, this has only 200 files, but a lot of them are all top-level things. So let's see if that changes things at all. So I'm going to go back here to master. let this thing load. I loaded pretty quickly. Yeah, I loaded fairly quickly. We'll see where we're at. Okay, and it looks like this is only a bit bigger. So it's not just what's loaded here in the file tree that's making this so large. It is literally that there's a significant number of files. And I know that there's a large object backing each one of these files because they have a bit of behavior tied to each one. But if we could promote that logic or some of those events to a parent container so that we're not maybe registering callbacks for each one of these, that would save a whole lot. I want to calculate how much memory maybe we're doing per line there. So I had said here we have like 200. Let me go back to my terminal. If I go back to, let me just open a new thing. All right, let me go to my projects, GDK, GitLab. All right, I'm gonna do ls files, WCL. Nice. So there should be like 2,800 files being loaded. And here there's like 200. So the difference is pretty negligible. But to get like some sort of baseline memory that's happening for the Web IDE to work, let's just subtract 80 megabytes from this thing. So I'll get my calculator out. I know. 950 minus 80. And then let's divide that by 28. And so it looks like each individual file, because that's 28 and there's 2,800 of these. So if I divide by 1,000, each individual file is 0.03 of a megabyte, which is going to be, if there's 1,000 kilobytes in a megabyte, I guess this is 31 kilobytes. So every 30 files is a new megabyte. Is that right? So if I have 31 kilobytes and I have 30 of them, yeah, that's about right. But something tells me it's not necessarily quite that simple. So here I have created 200 more files. Yeah, so let's just see here. Oh yeah, where was my calculator? Oh, I killed it, I guess. Here I create 200 more files. So 200 times 0.03 should have been 6 more megabytes. So just for fun, let's do that same little exercise again and compare. Here we had 79 megabytes. Let's see if it just bumps it up by 6 more megabytes. All right, so what did I do? Here's the script. So rather than doing all this again, I'm just going to borrow this and add, I'm going to add a 2 next to the DIRs. Okay. I know it's going to look weird, but oh well. And then I'll add a 2 next to these things. All right. We're ready to do this all over again. Let's do it again. What? Oh, it doesn't like exclamation marks. Let's do it again. All right. Okay, let's push this. Sweet. Here I am. All right, I refresh this. So this is at 79.4 megabytes. Let's just write that down before I forget it, because I will forget it. 79.4 megabytes at approximately 200 files. And then now we're going to be at approximately 400 files. I know, it's very scientific. And let's refresh it. Okay, do we have all those? Yeah, it looks like we've got all the stuff. Okay, and how much memory are we taking? Okay, we bumped to 125. That was a significant jump. It's probably, though, too, because a lot of these files are open, or they're visible. So there's not just the file data we're tracking, but also the data that is being displaying the components themselves. So one more final thought experiment. This isn't really a thought experiment. We're going to do the actual experiment. But let's do all of this inside of one of the directories. So it's not going to be loaded. We'll make a directory called the fun zone. Okay. And we'll do all of this inside of the fun zone, which I probably should just cd into fun zone. All right. So if I git status, yeah, we are going to add the fun zone. Adding the fun. All right. Let's push it up. Okay. So we were at 125 megabytes. Reason it was so big was because these new files are all in the top directory. All right, let's reload it and see what happens. All right, it's doing its thing. Okie dokie. And now, that's the kind of increase I was thinking. Yes, and that was about 8 megabyte increase, and I was kind of predicting 6. So yeah, it seems like, all right, yeah, let me go and do this. So we have 133 megabytes for approximately 600. All of the files are behind a, what would you call it? They're all behind another directory. Okay. So yeah, I was kind of predicting, we were predicting a 0.03, or wait, we were predicting 30 kilobytes of data that we're storing per file. And yeah, when we have 28,000 files, that's going to be quite big. So just to confirm, back with our calculator, here in our GitLab project, we have 28,000 files times 30 kilobytes, then divided by 1,000. Yeah, that's just storing the data behind each one of the files. And you're like, well, 30 kilobytes isn't that bad. But if you look at it, what actually are we storing here? We're not even storing the contents yet. I don't get the contents till I actually click on it. So what are we actually storing here per file? From all I can see, there's the file name, there is this what type of file it is, and that sounds like it should be really small. So some things that could be going on contributing to this is if there's a lot of listeners that we're doing per file, and I know with view reactivity, it adds listeners for everything that's going to be in the state. And so it's not necessarily the top level folders that are, and those are significant when we actually have a component. That's a big hitter because that caused it to boost pretty severely. But most projects aren't going to have like 400 top level files and directories. But if I have a lot of stuff that's just tucked away, and by a lot of stuff, I used to think that maybe having a 28,000 project was a little unreasonable, but I didn't realize I was working in one that was 28,000 files. We should find a way to make sure maybe we are initializing way too much listeners for this stuff when it's not even going to be used, and we can end up saving a lot of memory. All right, thanks for hanging out with me.